Hello, welcome back to my channel, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be, well this week actually I'm going to be filming meals of the week, so things we're going to be eating this week. This is actually an interim video because at the moment I'm just preparing to start what is going to be a very long running series of eating up the food I already have in my house, so eating up the leftovers. I currently have a freezer that is not usable. I can't fit anything more in my freezer. I have been accumulating food over the past few months, leftover dinners that we've frozen, cut up vegetables, fruits that I've bought discounted and I've put in the freezer, things I've wanted to try from Aldi I've been putting in the freezer. Just so much food is sitting in the freezer right now that I can't add anything else. I've also got loads of food in the fridge and tons of food in the cupboards, like lots of tins. So we have so much food sitting in this house, yet I've still been doing weekly shops, which is kind of crazy because I haven't been like using the food that's in my house, and I think we're all kind of guilty of that. We just do these weekly shops and then food either goes to waste or it just sits in your freezer doing nothing when you could have probably been a bit more inventive and made something. So today's video is just going to be a normal meals of the week, so just things we ate this week whilst I've been planning to get through our fridge freezer, doing a stock take, things like that. So you're just going to see a general what we ate this week. They were kind of very quick meals because we've been really busy, so just some quick meals that we've got going on. And then if you do want to join me for the very start of the eating leftover series, make sure you are subscribed because it's going to be a very eye-opening, money-saving series, and I'd love as many of you to join me as possible in doing that. I think it really, last time I did it, it helped so many people. So many of you said you saved money. So if you want to join me for that series, which is going to be starting within the next few days, make sure you're subscribed. But in the meantime, just enjoy today's video where I'm just showing you things we ate over the last few days. I hope you're all doing really well. It's so blooming cold. Like, I'm constantly freezing right now, so I'm gonna make a nice warm dinner. We're having a nice dinner tonight actually, I'm very excited. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up and let's just get straight into this week of meals. Okay, I'm just going to start tonight because we are in a major rush today with a HelloFresh. This is not sponsored with them. I have worked with them previously, but I actually just generally love HelloFresh because it's so easy, especially when you're rushing around. But I'm going to make this tonight. It looks really good. I've got all the ingredients. A halloumi, honey glazed halloumi burger with peri-peri wedges and avocado salsa. Yummy. Let's get straight into it. I'm probably going to do like a voiceover for most of the meals, just because you guys seem to like that, and it's just what we're eating this week. We don't need to ramble on too much, but yeah, this is what we're going to have tonight and I'm excited. Okay, as I said, this is a HelloFresh recipe, but it's a nice one, so I thought I'd make it for camera today and you guys can copy along. So first thing you're going to do is get the wedges ready. I always make homemade chips and wedges, so didn't really need to follow much guidance here, but just wash your potatoes. You don't need to peel them or anything, and cut them into wedges. And just a good tip with making your chips, just make sure they're all kind of flat out on the tray and there's not too many that are on top of each other, just because you'll get some like uncooked chips or very soggy chips. Although saying that, I do kind of like soggy chips. Anyway, so lay out the wedges and drizzle with olive oil or oil of your choice, and lay out some seasoning. So this came with a peri-peri seasoning. Also, adding salt and pepper to your chips is always a good idea. They're going to go in the oven at quite high, so 200 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 35 minutes, depending on how brown you like them. I do actually use my hands to make sure they're all coated both sides. So whilst they're in the oven, cut up any salad you're going to be having and a block of halloumi. So it's about 3 slices of halloumi per person. It was more than enough, really. Sharing a block of halloumi with Lawrence, and also my son Oren had some as well. So lay out the halloumi. Also, you can dry that on a kitchen towel, and cut up your spring onion, half your lime, and get your avocado ready for the avocado salsa. In regards to when you cook your halloumi, it's going to be cooked about 10 minutes before the chips are done. So I like to get as much prepared as possible, and then I can just kind of throw everything in the oven. And yes, I'm making my salsa in my child's little snack pot because I couldn't be bothered to find another nice looking bowl. So put the spring onion, the avocado, some lime juice and some olive oil into this bowl and mix, and that just becomes a really quick, easy salsa. It's actually a very, very delicious salsa. I did add some salt and crushed black pepper. You're going to fry your halloumi on both sides. I like it kind of not burnt, but well done with some olive oil. The liquid that will come off of the halloumi will actually dissolve, don't worry about that. So fry off the halloumi. I fry for a little while, about 3 to 5 minutes each side. Make sure it doesn't dry out. And then they've told me to get a garlic mayo ready, so that's what I did. To be fair, I don't rate the mayo that came in those little sachets. I much prefer the mayo from Aldi. But anyway, I used their mayo and some crushed garlic, and that was just easy peasy lemon squeezy. As you can see, my halloumi is looking more than done now, which is great. And the chips are done. So I am going to start serving up while the halloumi cools down. After the halloumi is cooling down in the pan, I can add the honey. You don't want the honey to burn or anything like that, so I make sure it's sort of cooled down, add the honey, make sure it's all coated, and then just serve up in the buns. And my goodness, this dinner was delicious. I think definitely next time I will add more salad into the burger. They came with tomatoes and obviously the green salsa, but I think like crunchy lettuce. Crunchy lettuce definitely has a place. It can be so boring, but it definitely has a place. But crunchy lettuce in this burger would have made all the difference. It would have been so good. But yeah, here's the burger. It was absolutely blooming delicious. It made me very excited for spring, summer. It's such like a sit outside and eat type meal. I thought I would show you this. This is my slow cooker chicken stew. I actually always just batch cook this. This is something I do maybe like once every 2 weeks. I batch cook a chicken stew, and I swap. I either have it with dried egg noodles, which obviously I cook with the stew, or rice. Today I'm making chicken and rice. So this is batch cooked for the freezer, and generally they're always going to be meals, quick and easy meals for my son, my 1.5-year-old son. But they're adult friendly as well. They're absolutely just such a lovely, warming, good for you type meal. If you're unwell at the moment, I definitely recommend making this. So what you want to do is essentially grab some veg in your fridge that's not being used, and for me that day it was parsnips, so I peel my parsnips and chop those up. I also wash my celery sticks, and I didn't have any today, but I always add carrots, so I always peel and chop carrots and add it into the mix. So get your veggies ready first, and meanwhile the slow cooker I've just turned on. I make this in the morning, and this stews all day until it's time to add the rice or the noodles, whatever you're using. So into the slow cooker I just throw the olive oil. I also throw the chicken. I'm using the specially selected skinless and boneless chicken thighs from Aldi. There's always about 4 thighs or 5 thighs in here. Because it's going to be turned into a stew, it's more than enough. It makes so many meals. So it's actually a great way to like reduce your meat intake. In a stew, everything else is kind of making it hearty, and I don't know, I find that I eat much less chicken when I make it into a stew. So add your garlic, your herbs. I also add lots of ginger paste and a bit of smoked paprika. Today, because I didn't have any carrots, I did add a tin of sweet corn, and this sweet corn goes really well. I do use a low salt stock mostly for this batch cooking, and I'm just preparing the stock. Add it all together. This is so easy. It's all you do. Add it all together. You don't need to prep anything. You don't need to brown any onion off. Don't need to brown any chicken off. You just put it all in the slow cooker. I cook on high or medium for 4 to 6 hours. You can cook on low for 6 hours plus. Leave it there, and hey presto. And then 30-ish minutes before serving, I'll make sure the slow cooker is on high, and I'll get a small cup of rice ready and just put the rice into the slow cooker and leave it for another 30 minutes, and the rice will cook into the stock. And yeah, it's just delicious and it's so easy to freeze. Just wait till it's completely cooled down and separate into portions and freeze. It's so great. Okay, tonight Oren and I, my son, are having poached salmon and veggies with homemade chips. By the way, this chip cutter is honestly like a must-have if you make your own chips. We don't really ever buy any chips anymore. Occasionally I do if I just want something in the freezer that's really easy, but generally we always make our own chips. It's the same amount of time as cooking oven chips from the shop. So grab the chip cutter. I'm just giving you a really good demonstration here. I should work on QVC really. You can suction it to your side, put the potato in, push it through. I don't have very strong wrists, they're actually very small wrists, and I can do this without causing any pain, but yeah, it's nice and easy. So I get my chips ready, and once they're ready I lay out flat on a baking pan, and I normally just drizzle normal olive oil with my chips. I don't peel my chips or anything, I kind of like the skin on, they're absolutely fine. Drizzle with olive oil, and then I put lots of salt and pepper on, and they're going to go into the oven for 25 to 35 minutes depending on how you like them. Then my salmon's going to take 10 to 15 minutes, so put it into a tinfoil covered tray, and then I'm going to drizzle lots and lots of garlic in there, some olive oil and lemon slices. And then you're going to take your tin foil and mostly cover the salmon just so all of the liquid stays within the tin foil. And this is what will sort of steam / poach your salmon. It cooks nice and quickly, it stays very, very moist. It's a delicious way of eating salmon. And because this is how I'm feeding it to my son, it's a really easy way for him to eat it. There's no kind of charred bits after frying. I do love frying it, but yeah, this is just how I tend to have it since feeding it to myself and my son at the same time. Lawrence doesn't really like fish, so this kind of night he will make his own dinner. Sorry love, you're on your own here, because Oren and I love salmon. And then serve up. It really is such an easy dish to make. You can leave the oven on at 200 degrees when you're cooking your salmon, so it all cooks at the same temperature. I've been using the steam bags from Aldi, the mixed vegetable steam bags, and it works really well, to be fair. They've got broccoli, carrots, peas, cauliflower, they're really nice. And we just serve it with mixed veg and that's it. Delicious. So this is generally the pasta that used to be called date night pasta. If you've seen that video, it means you're a real OG. But this pasta is the one I always tell people to cook. Like if you're ever hosting and you've got friends over, it's such an easy win type meal. It tastes so luxurious. It tastes so much better than how you think it's made. So it's so easy. Just grab a jar of sun-kissed or sun-dried tomatoes in the oil. That's important. It has to have the oil. A pot of mascarpone, then you want a large white onion, you want some garlic cloves. I'm using 3 large garlic cloves here because I needed all the garlic love today. So peel your garlic cloves. A really easy way to peel them, by the way, is to slightly crush them and then the skin just falls off. And chop those up roughly. Now we did actually have some chorizo left in the fridge from a previous dish, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I'm chopping the chorizo up as well. But that's completely optional. We never really have anything other in this dish. Like we never normally have chorizo in this dish, but it goes very, very well. So first thing you're going to do is take some oil from the jar of sun-dried tomatoes, and this is the oil you're going to cook with today. So add a hearty amount into your pan and then add your onions and your garlic until they've softened. After that I'm going to add some cayenne pepper and also some mixed herbs. The cayenne pepper gives it a nice kick, and mixed herbs goes really well with this dish. And then you're going to add your chorizo. So with the chorizo, I just cook that until it naturally lets off its own oils. Once it started doing that, I start adding my sun-dried tomatoes. So I used about half of this jar. These are quite small. Sometimes you can buy them and they're very large, so I cut them up, but these ones were quite small, so use about half the jar. And yes, Oren is helping me. I'm holding him. He's going through some stuff at the moment. He was going through some big emotions this day, so he spent a lot of the day in my arms. But he's helping me, which is really cute. He's just taking them out with this little purple spoon and dropping them in there. Well done. Anyway, so that's all been frying for a while now. I'd say about 10-ish minutes. It's just been nice, slowly frying, not too hot because you don't want the onions to burn. And yeah, this one's a really quick dinner. So I let that cool down quite a lot, so it's just about warm enough. So turn it on the lowest, like warm setting, and then you're going to start adding your cheese. So a whole pot of mascarpone. This is going to feed easily like 4 people, easily. So whole pot of mascarpone cheese. By the way, you can also add like lots of grated carrot here. You can start throwing in some veg. Children tend to love this dish. It's like a really posh pasta bake. So if you did want to add some more veg, grate some carrot in there, but I didn't today, I just added it like this. I also had mozzarella in the fridge that absolutely needed using, so I wouldn't normally add the mozzarella, but I added some tomato puree and then also some mozzarella into here. So once the sauce has thickened up, keep it nice and warm, not too hot. You want to drain your cooked pasta. I did actually cook too much pasta. Honestly, it really didn't look like I was making this much, but it turned out so much. You can see the stringy mozzarella. Oh my gosh, this sauce is unreal. Yeah, you just want to add your pasta directly into the saucepan. You want to cook your pasta a little bit al dente, so it's got a little bit of bite. You don't want it too soggy. And it's a great dish. We all love it, and it makes very good leftovers, so we tend to make enough for lunches the next day.